Hello guys, welcome back to one of my YouTube videos. This will be the second and last video in the series about appeasement of Nazi Germany. This video will be the opinionative video on the side of the series. If you have not seen the other video, go and check it out. That video is the video that will provide context and more factual. Without further ado, let's get into it. Many people describe appeasement because of the fact that they think it was supposed to stop the war. It wasn't supposed to stop the war, it was only supposed to delay it. The British and French, as of 1935, thought that Germans had more military might, so they needed to buy time to catch up to speed with the Germans. The French spent a lot more on their navy, and by 1936, the British spent over 40% of the government's budget on national defense. Also, in 1935, the British and German Air Force was non-existent. While the German would dominate the Allies in the air in 1935 if the war broke out then, while the Germans had bigger military than the Allies of 1935, it's mostly based on false conclusions. The actual ground military of the Allies could have been able to beat the Germans as of 1935. It's also said that appeasement didn't work because the Allies kept giving fascist power concessions, which allowed them to go stronger without facing any immediate threat, and also allowed them to rearm quicker. This is true. And the continued rearmament of the Italians and Germans triumphed that of the rearmament of the French and British. As I mentioned before, the Allies were lacking in the air as of 1935. Well, they were still lacking in 1939 when the war broke out. It just wasn't as severe. If it wasn't for the Battle of Britain in 1940, the Germans could have easily been dominant air power on D-Day and on Operation Barbarossa. The fundamental idea of appeasement means that continued concessions would have removed the grievances of the country that had the grievances. And it also means that the country's appetite would be limited. Neither of these are true about Hitler's Third Reich. They would have ate up as much land as they could before the war broke out. That is one of the reasons why appeasement did not work, and it wouldn't work under the World War II scenario. Now for my opinion about appeasement. I believe that appeasement is very situational. Even Churchill, a great anti-appeaser, said that it is situational, but I do not believe the 1930s was the right time to use it. But all the blame should not fall on Chamberlain like it has done in the past. It is unfair to blame all this hate on Chamberlain because there's many other people making decisions other than him. At the time, it was hard to judge Hitler's true intentions. For instance, during when Hitler and Chamberlain were meeting over the Sudetenland, Hitler's making speeches about how this would be the last aggressive expansion into Europe. And a lot of people say that Ferdinand Brandt should have taken action when Germany started to go against the Treaty of Versailles. This is not so simple. The population at the time would never allow them to do that. They did not want another great war to break out, and it was seen as not really that bad. The first instances where Hitler takes action against the Treaty of Versailles aren't as severe as the Danzig or the Sudetenland instance. So this is why that I think that appeasement is not the best strategy, but it shouldn't be as criticized as it is right now. Hope you guys enjoy, and remember, see you soon.